Well, it's February 27th. You can see that starting to be some bare ground already in the woods. Out in the skidder trails in the open areas, there's maybe 10 inches, 10, 12 inches crust. It's all getting granular now because it's been warming up. I'm out here in t-shirt and sweatshirt. It's got to be close to 40, the warm south wind coming, so it's a strange winter. So I'm taking advantage of this. Aaron and I come in this area a week or so ago looking for sheds, and I found quite a few rubs from the fall, and there's a lot of deer in here right now because this is not, this is, I guess, considered part of the deer yard, even though this year they can go wherever they want, so they're cruising along pretty good. But the good thing is I can see where all the trails are now, so I'm gonna hike back into that area where those rubs were, and we'll just look around, see where the trails are, and kind of figure out how I'd hunt it if I was still hunting or walking, and maybe find a couple spots to put a stand. Got 13 guys coming into camp so far for deer season. I got room for a couple more the first week, but it's gonna be a pretty full season for us, so I really want to get as much scouting done as I can, and hopefully we hang some bucks up on the game pole this year. So I'll just kind of stop here and there, show you what I see and what I'm looking at and kind of what I'm thinking. There's not much else to do right now. I don't trust the ice. There's still guys falling through, and snowmobiling's just trails aren't very good. I'm not gonna say don't ride, because if you got a sled, this is the only chance you got, but I don't love it that much. So we'll go for a walk and see what we can find. See, this right here be a real good area to hang out in. This is all wet. Little brook running through here, and real open cattails, and wet here and open down there. But right here it narrows up, and there's trees, a little bit of cover, so those are the types of places where the deer are going to be moving back and forth through here. So this would be a good place to it's also like this hillside right here is also a good area for them to lay down in. They got cover, and they may come across here. There's something a buck would do. He'd track him, he'd come across this open right here, and he'd get up in here and he'd lay down, especially if the wind was coming from behind him, and he'd be looking to see if anything was following his track. But we'll keep moving through, get through this wet stuff. There's some old growth here, and we're gonna probably walk up along the edge of that, and then we'll go down into where they'd cut there 5 or 6 years ago, which would be, there was a lot of sign of deer feeding in there this year. And actually, when Aaron and I were in there, I jumped 3 that were feeding. So off we go. I do have the rifle with me because I did see some dog tracks in here last time we were in, and it's like a pretty fresh track right there. I made it to the edge of that cut now. You can see there's a lot of whips and raspberry bushes and everything else in there, so it's real tough to see in there. It's thick, but there's a lot of feed in there. The deer will feed in there, and you can see this property line right here, painted line, and this hasn't been cut. So now I like to start out these places following these edges, because typically, you know, those bucks will run around the edge trying to get a whiff of what's out there before they take off. If they smell a doe, they'll head out right through the middle of that stuff. Otherwise, they'll stay right inside the cover here and wander around. It's a pretty good game trail running right on this line here too, so. But like I said, this, you know, there's a lot more deer here right now than there's going to be in the fall. You know, as the season goes on, more deer start trickling into the yard here, but there's always deer in here. There's good feed, good cover, and I see deer across the road where I came in here all the time. So well, we'll keep going. And up on the height of the land, about as high as you're going to get right here. Some hardwood mixed in with the softwood here. I like hunting this type of woods here, especially along the edge of a cut. There's deer feeding. Seen a few moose rubs. As you can see, this trail's packed down pretty good right here, just basically on the edge of the cut. So we'll cut down pretty soon down the area Aaron and I were looking the other day. We'll get into that rub line I found. Moose been feeding in here pretty good. It's pretty fresh. Not a whole lot of bull sign in here, but a little bit. There's some rubs here and there on some softwoods from the bulls, but I think there's basically some cows hanging in here for the winter. We're getting into the area that I really wanted to check out. You can see there's a big swale out here, alders and swale grass, cattails. It's wet. And then there's another one over here, and there's a little piece of high ground that goes right in between them. So there was, you know, some deer sign in there when Aaron and I were in, and I'm gonna go check it out a little more. But that cut is all around this. You can see up on this knob right here, they've cut that, but you know, there's a lot more dark growth in here. And you know, when you don't have snow, these are the type of areas I like to sneak around in, because usually you can be pretty quiet, and you know, you could see 50-75 yards in spots here, and you just go along slow. You know, you'll bump into deer a lot of times. So we'll see if we can find some rubs in here. See right here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beds right here. The swales right there, got a little hump behind them, and they can see pretty good out in front there. This is where you get them up during the day when you don't have any snow. You catch a buck cruising through looking for a doe. Looks like big old beaver dam over there. Guarantee you that's where the deer cross. There's a lot of beds right up in here. So it's a good little area to hunt. You could definitely spend a day in here. There's gonna be deer here. You just gotta find them. This is where I saw those deer last time I was in here. We're down nipping off buds off the shoots. It's pretty open right here. You can see quite a ways. You know, but there's some knobs here, so the deer definitely know how to move through it, and there's a lot of feed here. But so real good area to sneak around, find little pinch points around those swales and hang out for as long as you can. Hopefully one of my guys will get a deer out of here this coming fall. Well, there's a rub right there. I didn't follow that trail down along the edge of the swale right there. I stayed up a little bit higher just because I didn't walk up that way last time, but there's a trail that goes right along the edge of that, and there was 3 or 4 more rubs in through there. So I'd say that's you know, buck cruising through here. He's hanging tight in the cover, sniffing, checking for does. It's you know, it's good to know things like that, because a lot of guys like to sit where they can see a long ways, and you don't need to be able to see a long ways. You just need to be able to see in the right spot. A bunch of beds right in here, and there was a bunch that we looked at on the other side of this swale over there. It's an alder jungle between us, but they will go through it. Eating the bark off this maple. I'm 6 feet tall. Up there at least 8 feet. More over there. Found another buck rub. There's a few sets of tracks coming out through here, but pretty thick in these cuts, and they're all grown up with shoots and stuff. It's tough to see them. It's tough to get a bullet to them if you do see them. That's why you bring lots of bullets. I just ordered 5 boxes. Kind of hard to see because it's not super fresh, but It's a bobcat track here. I haven't seen many of them this year. Tracks, that is. I haven't seen any bobcats. I've seen a few lynx. Of course, bobcat season's over now. Not that we can run in this stuff anyway. I was gonna say, it looked like real fresh deer tracks there, and running tracks here now, so I'd say we jumped one. This is another little spot. There's an open swale over there, another one over there. I mean, it's wetting through here, but there's some alders and cover, and you can sneak through this without getting wet. I actually see pretty good in through here. I'm almost back to the truck now. We got a few miles on the legs today. I marked a few spots, those pinch points there between the swale holes and the areas where there was a lot of bedding going on. So, you know, still gonna run through here, beginning the deer season, just to make sure there is fresh deer sign in here, but I know there will be. There's always deer in here. And but I'll have a good plan of attack for whoever gets sent in this piece of woods here. Now I got a couple other spots that found some good buck sign in while I was shed hunting, areas that I haven't hunted in years, and I'm gonna try to get up in there once the snow's gone. That way you can see if there's some old scrapes on the ground, whatever. But I don't think I've put 2 tanks of gas through my snowmobile this winter, which is kind of sad, but we'll take advantage of it and get some deer scouting done, I guess. Should be an early fishing season, hopefully. But thanks for watching. We'll be out again doing something. Aaron's got a little bit of coyote bait, so let's see if we can't whack 1 or 2 of them. The good news is I didn't see a whole lot of coyote tracks in here, and I only know of 1 deer getting taken down that was at the other end of town. It's a young buck. I think what happened, the coyotes got it out on the road there where it was icy, and it must have gone down and couldn't get back up, because they got a pretty good fighting chance right now with the way the conditions are. They have had all winter. So, and biologists are saying the winter ticks are down this year, so should be a good survival rate for the moose. So it should be an excellent hunting season coming up this fall. Well, thanks for watching. See you next time.